CharCole Sports Show, the hottest names and the hottest takes.
Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m., where Charlie Preen and Cole Larsch highlight prep sports, college sports, Coyote athletics, and professional sports. We would love to hear your questions for us, too. The phone lines are always open.
Tune in to the CharCole Sports Show each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. to hear the hottest takes on KAOR Vermilion.
Well, good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday, April the 22nd. Thanks for tuning in here on the CharCole Sports Show on KAOR. Season 3, Episode 19 of the CharCole Sports Show. We've got a big one and a fun one. With the NFL Draft tomorrow, it's going to be a lot of NFL Draft talk, as well as a quick update on Coyote sports in this spring so far, before we get to an entire one-round mock draft in the NFL Draft. That is all coming up a little bit later on in the show, about 6:15. Until then, buckle in because the CharCole Sports Show, well, it starts right now.
And here it is, the CharCole Sports Show, Season 3, Episode 19. I'm Charlie Preen, joined by Cole Larsch and Cole. I just figured out a way to get the New York Times articles at a discount, so
There we go.
I am very happy right now. And,
Now we're talking.
And that is The Athletic as well, so I don't know if you follow much
Oh, yeah.
like Minnesota sports writers that aren't ESPN-based or Tribune-based. It's like Alec Lewis and John Krasinski.
Yeah.
For the Timberwolves at least, and then I think Russo athletic, like Michael Russo,
I think so, for the Wild.
yeah, for the Wild. So this is great. I mean, I'm going to read a lot more articles now from the Athletic. So
Now we're talking.
like a little nerd news right now. For my birthday, Mom, if you're watching, you can get me I think it's like a $20 subscription to the Athletic. That'd be great, Mom. And I can read all of Alec Lewis's stuff and Russo hockey, and don't really care to read too much Krasinski stuff, but he's cool, so whatever.
True.
But here we go. It's Season 3, Episode 19, and we just figured out how to read the New York Times. So, Lars, this is going to be a fun episode. I'm really excited for it.
It should be.
We get to talk about some really fun stuff. This episode could really go anywhere. We have a plan for the first 15, 20 or so minutes, but after that, it's kind of up to us to take it places. But excited to talk about the women's basketball and men's basketball transfer portal. They've been hitting it hard and doing well, actually. So excited to see what the upcoming season has to bring on the upcoming players. But reloading more than going out and building a whole new team is Carrie Amy this summer. We talked about it a little bit last episode, but it's really coming into fruition now. They're spending more time, like you said last episode, Cole, the women's basketball team, recruiting high schoolers and recruiting the younger, classes rather than going out and having to field a team, So if you can field a team that was competitive like we were last year, then just imagine what 2 summers from now will look like.
Exactly. And we'll get to the kind of who they've signed and whatnot, but you're exactly right. I mean, this goes for both teams, too. It's you just got to get some people and kind of you got to make it work, honestly. That's what they've been doing, and they've gotten some pretty big names in, at least on the women's side for the most part. There's been a couple on the men's side that they're, rumored to be in touch with, but you only know how far that's going to go. But one of them, I think, averaged 20 points a game in D2 last year, and they've got some interest in him. But, yeah, we'll get to all that in a little bit. But, again, it's that time of year right now. You got that Wild sweater on. We already saw Ty in the comments say, go Wild. Absolutely, there you go. But that's a guy who needs to lock in here in this playoffs here, this game.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, where was he last game?
But,
I mean,
I don't know. I honestly could not tell you. It didn't appear that he was really anywhere, to be quite honest with you. But I don't know. We're gonna have to find that out kind of as we move things along. But again, big show. USD, kind of some sports updates and how everything has been going so far. Then, of course, big NFL draft segment.
Huge NFL draft segment. And Cole, I forgot to mention it. If you're listening on KOR 91.1 FM on the TuneIn app or locally in Vermilion, if you're in the radius of the tower, we appreciate you. But if you want to watch today's show, we have it on YouTube as well. We're going to do an entire draft in front of you where we go through a segment, and we're not going to spoil too much of it because we want you to stick around. But be there for that, and to tune in, it's the CharCole Sports Show on YouTube.
Yep.
So you're gonna want to see that. It's going to be a fun segment, and to see it, you're gonna have to go to YouTube to see it. So tune in about 20 minutes if you're listening on KOR 91.1. That's the CharCole Sports Show on YouTube, Cole.
Exactly right. I'm gonna even get it locked and loaded up here coming up, so I don't even have to do much. I just got to click a couple buttons and we're there. All right, here we go. First up, a USD Sports update. We'll start with the USD softball team, who picked up a series victory up in Grand Forks, North Dakota last weekend. They got a victory 12-1 in a 3-game series. Supposed to go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It went Saturday, Sunday, Monday because of the weather. They won the first game 12-1. Madison Evans picks up the win in the start for South Dakota. They came out with 5 runs early, a couple of home runs in there as well. On Sunday, took a loss 9-1. Peyton Paulson took the loss in the circle for South Dakota. And then the rubber match on Monday, April the 20th. Just 2 days ago, they won 7-5. 2 runs in the first inning, 5 runs in the 6th inning to get the win. 7-5, even held off a late surge by UND, who scored 3 in that 7th inning. Then on Tuesday, they traveled from Grand Forks all the way down to Vermilion and get a crucial run in the 7th inning to get the win over the Drake Bulldogs, 6-5 to
That was fun.
13-30-1. Started off leading off a leadoff double from Iverson. Kaya Johnson took advantage of it. Took the Drake starter to deep center field for her second home run of the season to give him a 2-1 advantage. Next 2 innings went quietly. Drake made their first and only pitching change of the afternoon in the 2nd inning. We still go on to 2-1. Defensive miscue in the corner would give a coyote run and give USD the lead back 3-2. That was in the 4th inning. Then Drake would score some in the 6th to take the lead 5-3. USD once again responded to Drake runs with runs of their own. Small ball and defensive miscues were the highlights of the 6th inning. With runners on 2nd and 3rd, Sarah Iberg grounded to 3rd base. Drake went home with the ball, thinking it was a forced play. The run would score easily. Brooke Carey would follow that with an RBI bunt single, a safety squeeze of sorts, writes Steve Carlson, the AD who wrote this. The assistant AD for communications who wrote this article. Then Katie Hoffman started off with a pinch hit single up the middle. Kirsten, who re-entered her run, would steal 2nd in the middle of the at-bat, and Autumn Iverson worked a 2-2 count and deliver a clutch 2-out game-winning RBI single to right field that sliced away from the Bulldog right fielder as South Dakota picked up the first win against the Bulldogs in the first ever game between the two schools in Vermilion. Campbell German earned the start in the circle, her 9th start of the season, worked 2.5 innings. Aubrey Lensmeyer picked up the win in relief. She worked 3 1/3 inning. Coyotes now the winners of the last 3 of their last 4. They will head to Kansas City to take on the Roos this weekend, and before they will host the Omaha Mavericks in their final series.
How's Omaha, Cole?
Of the season. Couldn't tell you. They did just play Nebraska, who is now the number 1 team in.
Yeah, what's the story with that? They got some NIL funds for Nebraska softball.
Nebraska's good at everything except for football. Pretty much. They're a non-football school.
Or they're just not having their time right now. Cole, here's a question for you. Kind of off topic. It just popped in my head, though. Here's the thing, Cole. If NIL does change, right, and the scene of NIL at least, how does that fare with the Huskers moving forward? Are they going to be more competitive or less competitive?
You'd hope more competitive.
You'd think so, right?
You'd hope.
Because that would take out the high end of the Big Ten, I think. Not take out, but limit them.
By the way, Omaha softball is 29-9. They're 11-1 in the conference.
Yeah, I think they're going to pull. It's going to be tough.
They've lost 4-1, 10-2, and 11-4 to Nebraska. So that'll be interesting. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 30th, 1st, and 2nd, Omaha at South Dakota, 3 o'clock, and noon. I think I'll be the PA announcer for all 3 of those games.
This weekend?
Next weekend.
Next weekend?
Next weekend.
Next weekend.
There's that. I don't know. Here's the thing with NIL. Does anybody really know what goes on? Like, truly?
I'd say the fellers that get paid do.
It's true.
They know what's up.
I suppose that is true. But, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if it all happens. But, hey, Nebraska's getting a $600 million Memorial Stadium renovation if it passed.
There's no way
if it passes on Thursday.
There's no way it won't then.
Yeah, you'd think.
You'd think, but
you never know.
they have quite the, not to get into politics, but the setup in the government down there in Nebraska is pretty different than most other states.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. But I would, again, wouldn't imagine that it fails.
I don't think so. All right, Larcy.
But who knows?
Let's
Little bit of transfer portal here.
yeah. You got any?
I'll get to that.
Any stuff to put up on the screen for the
yep,
for the
here we
folks at
go.
home? Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is some men's basketball players we've signed. We kind of talked about these last 2 guys.
Do you think our guy Ethan made these graphics? Because how beautiful.
Probably, because he's the men's he's the men's basketball SID, isn't he? So I'm sure he did. Tyler Netlicke and Cade Kelderman, these are some older signees. A couple more recent ones. Josh Townley Thomas transferred from Creighton. Let's look him up quick. Josh Townley Thomas for Creighton
We're gonna have
University.
2 Thomases.
6'10", 225, a junior and a forward. He injured his foot in the season opener against South Dakota last season and did not play again.
Man, so he got to see the Yotes.
He has his career high is 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting in just 5 minutes against the Yotes, and that was it.
He might be okay.
In a sophomore, he played in 10 games, redshirted last year.
He did what to his foot?
He just says injured.
Oh.
Um,
I'll text Ethan right now. I'll ask him. We'll get the information for the show.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened to him, but there's another signee. And then KJ Thomas, a guard from UTEP, a recent signee. Look at his stats here. He's a sophomore, 6'1", 175, averaged 6 points, 2.5 boards, 3 assists last season on 31 games played. 40% shooter, 25% from deep, so it appears a point guard coming in KJ Thomas.
Yeah, he looks to be all right. He's a little short, but that'll work in the Summit League.
It is very true. Averaged 28.5 minutes a game. So, player.
From Amarillo.
Amarillo by morning.
Up from San Antonio.
What a great song. I wonder if they got that in here.
Put it on just for the vibes. Put it on really softly in the background for those listening on the radio. You're gonna get a treat. There's no way we don't have it.
It's not in here.
What?
Yeah, it's not.
I
in
blame
here.
Heath Nimke for that.
I could sing it. I don't think anyone.
No.
wants to hear
We
that.
don't need that.
I don't know if anybody wants to hear that. I mean anybody, but I could. So those are the 4 so far signees from the men's
That's
team.
pretty good.
So they had, let's see, 1 graduate, 5 out. No, 6 out. No, it was like 7 or 8 out. 3 freshmen coming in. So we probably got 2 or 3 more open spots. But still, these are some. I mean, and the D2 guy I saw on Twitter today, he averaged 19 points a game for a D2 school. And out of the D1 names that are interested in, I think we're the biggest name.
Sure.
D1 wise. So be interesting to see how that all progresses.
Not bad.
On the women's side, again, these are a couple of older ones. Bree Robinson from Northern Iowa, Gabby Jackson from North Alabama, And the most recent one was Monday. Latasia Williamson, a forward from Nashville, Tennessee. Latasia Williamson. She played for Kennesaw State, who, shout out to our friends at the Howling Podcast, did confirm on their show on Sunday, not a state.
It's not?
Kennesaw is not a state. 8.5 points, 5.5 rebounds a contest. She is 6'1", a junior from Nashville.
That'll translate.
Played 25 minutes a game, averaged over a block a game as well. 46% shooter. Has not made a three-pointer in her college career. So
Hey,
a post player.
Same.
So a post player.
Larcy, here's the thing. When it came down to it and you had to win in the Summit League tournament, rebounds is what killed the team.
Yeah.
You can't argue that.
Yep.
You had to out-rebound the other team. And if you could, you had a 98% chance you were beating the Coyotes, unless they were shooting really well. But so you turn around and you say, well, what can we do? How can we be better? What can we acquire this offseason? I think height is number one, Cole. And players that want to get rebounds and not watch, like Angelina Robles was the pickup of the year last year.
Oh,
in my
100%,
opinion.
a million percent.
Like her ability to not only go after rebounds, but have a desire to be down there at all times when the shot was going up, and then her ability to read the ball off of the rim was excellent as well. So if Carey can, and the entire staff really can narrow down a small group of players who maybe don't have super great scoring ability, could be there, but truly won't want rebounds and go after boards, then that's going to win you games.
Oh yeah, 100%. And you could tell that in games where they kind of struggled last year, they didn't have a true post player. They had Patience Williams,
but she wanted to flex out.
Yeah, it was like a stretch, wanted to play to the outside, and she had 17 straight points in their first WNIT game, or 14 straight, and 12 of those 14 were from the outside. So she was a very good shooter. But sometimes you just need that true post player who can just get in there, grit it out, and get a bunch of rebounds. So those are the signees. Transfers out, again, we have 4 of them on the women's side. 3 of the 4 have signed with other teams.
Where are they going?
Grace Peterson and Brooke Jensen both signed with Division II Northern State.
All right. I haven't seen this graphic ever, but I really hate to hate here. I mean,
that's part of the reason why I added this in for you here.
All right. Let's just break this down. Can they hear us right now?
Who?
Can the stream hear us, like the YouTube thing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, good.
I think so.
All right. So anyone that knows anything about PSA slabs, because that's clearly a PSA graded card, they never, ever put 1 of 1 on the actual slab.
Yep.
If they do, it is... Okay, Ethan Irvin just texted me back. We'll get to that in a second. If they do put 1 of 1 on there, it's right after forward, but the barcode's in the right spot, so that's good. Actually, no, I don't even think the barcode's in the right spot. I think the barcode's on the other side.
No, I think the barcode's there.
Okay.
You're right. Because the grade is on the right. Yeah.
And then the number, I have...
Yeah, that's all right. I got to say, I do enjoy the creativity with
this is good. This is good, but if you're going to get it right on the top...
Yep. That's all right. And then also not pictured, but... Olivia Kiefer signed with Black Hills State. So
that's not surprising.
Going back home for her senior year.
All right.
And there's one more. Olivia Moore is not yet signed, to my knowledge.
All right.
To my knowledge. All right, how far do I got to back up for this?
Go to the
Which
Ethan
one?
Erdman text.
Yep.
Josh Townley Thomas.
Josh Townley Thomas. Yep.
The
I'm
confirmation says, I'm not exactly sure, but their SID only told me a foot/ankle injury. So hopefully he didn't break it and is able to move pretty well, because if we can get him moving up and down the floor, he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be pretty good. Yeah, so there we go. Josh Townley Thomas, Creighton, the transfer. Aaron injured his foot in the game against South Dakota. Let's see, did I have anything else in here? Oh, yeah, this is the softball. I should have had this first, I guess, but there we go. 6:20, right on the dot. What time did I say we're going to start the
No way we're right on the clock. No way.
What time did I say we're going to start the draft?
I don't remember.
6:20 in my tweet. So there we go. Cue the music, everybody. It is NFL mock draft
Oh
time.
my gosh, is it chime? I'll run it up. I'll find it.
I don't have it.
I'm gonna do it for
Let's
every
see.
pick.
Oh gosh. No, we don't. Let's see what I'll have for buttons in here. I don't know. I never remember what we all have in here. What was that playing off of? How is it so loud?
My phone.
Oh, holy cow. There we go.
It's like volume blasted though.
You have to let us know how you can see this at home. I think.
Again, if you're listening on KOR, go to YouTube right now because it's starting.
That is true. The mock draft, 2026 CharCole Sports mock draft. Ladies and gentlemen, here we actually. I want to see if I can do this, but then edit you and drag you over to here, and then make you really big, because we really only need to see the left part of this mock draft deal, right? Let's just update this layout. There, how's that? Oh, that's huge.
Lars.
What?
I'm taking up half the screen. I don't want to be that guy, but
Okay, I'll shrink us down a little. There. How's this look? Is that better?
Cole Lars is on the clock.
I
That's
am.
much better.
We're gonna start this. No trades.
Okay, well, if we did, that'd be really confusing.
Yeah, no trades. I have all the odd picks. Charlie will have all the even, and we'll come together for the.
I will say this though.
Yeah.
There are a few spots where I feel like a team may trade. I'm going to say that, and we're going to move on.
Yeah, I agree.
You can continue.
But for this mock draft, for the sake of simplicity, there will be no trades. With the number 1 overall pick, part of the reason why I chose to pick 1-1, I can just click this button right here, and Fernando Mendoza goes number 1 to the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Jets are now on the clock.
Now, what a pick you have here, because no one is really sure how the Jets feel about this pick. A lot of people were really, really high on this guy named Arvell Reese to begin with. Well, recently, the word on the street has been changing around Arvell Reese, and a lot of people feeling really confident about a different guy from Texas Tech. They like David Bailey. I don't agree. I think Arvell Reese goes here, and I think David Bailey stays back a little bit. I think Arvell Reese's intangibles are just better. I think he can be a better fit right away. I do think that David Bailey has more room to grow, Cole.
Interesting. So,
Reese.
With the second overall pick, the Jets choose Arvell Reese. Linebacker, kind of slash edge guy from Ohio State. Very, very interesting. Well, now with my third pick.
Wait.
Yep. The Arizona Cardinals. A couple of different ways they can go about this, but I really honestly thought going into it is if there's some mocks out there taking Jeremiah Love in the third, which is not terrible, but the Cardinals, I mean, he's a really good running back, but it just doesn't seem like that's what they need a whole lot of. I have it listed in here. Arvell Reese, David Bailey, or Jeremiah Love are the three that were kind of listed. And because the Jets passed on David Bailey, the Arizona Cardinals will be taking David Bailey.
I like that.
The edge from Texas Tech.
Great pick. Great pick.
Now at the fourth pick, it's the Tennessee Titans are on the clock.
The Tennessee Titans on the clock here. And Cole, what do you want to do here? Do you want to go offense? Do you want to protect Cam Ward? They have a pretty good offense, not pretty good. They have an okay offensive line. A lot of people all over the place with things here. Cole, I think I'm going to go Sonny Styles here at 4. I think he's just the best fit for Tennessee. I could see Jeremiah Love going here tomorrow night, though. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of the two. It just depends on how much they need.
Because they don't really need offensive line. I think this Francis Moaga guy is going to be going soon.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's going to be one of the two, and I think you could really honestly go either way with it, just depending on who you want.
Mm-hmm.
And, all right, so you think Sonny Styles, the linebacker from Ohio State,
Yeah, I do.
to the Tennessee Titans. They have made their pick, and the New York Giants now are on the clock with myself in the 5 spot.
Now the Giants, Cole.
Boy.
You have options here, but you also
Yeah.
have a guy named Cam Scadaboo in the backfield.
That is very true.
Every single mock has the same thing here. Like, it's literally every mock.
Yeah, it's
Don't mess it up.
you have to take it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take Jeremiah Love.
You have to. I don't.
If Love goes to the 5, you have to take him, right? I mean, there's just no,
Right.
especially with the Giants, and they have the flexibility of now the 5 and the 10 pick. So you take him now.
Who a lot of people say is the best player in this draft.
That is very true. So you take Love now, and then you just take. Probably your other need would be a rusher, like a linebacker type, and you just take him at 10.
Right, because I don't think there's any guard. This is the better guard class than usual. You could sit back on guard a little bit. The wide receivers this early aren't worth it.
Yeah.
I could see them trying to flex out of Caleb Downs to make it work, but not right here. I think they go with the best player, in my opinion, in the draft.
I agree. I think
I loved watching this guy.
I think it's Jeremiah Love, and he was actually, even though he's not listed as a need for the Giants, he was my number 1 pick if he was available with a spot for the Giants. So they take Jeremiah Love with the 5. That puts the Cleveland Browns on the clock.
And the Browns need a quarterback after they drafted like 40 last year. Who would have guessed?
Of course. Shocker.
But this is a spot where a lot of folks, Cole, have a projected trade.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of teams that like some players in this area right here, but where do you go? Do you like a little offensive line here for the Browns? I think I do, but it's like, do you like this Francis Muigo Goa, or however you say his last name, or do you like the Spencer Fano better? I personally think that Fano is a better player. I think the Browns are probably going to mess it up. I think they take this Francis Muiga guy, or however you say it, if they stick and pick.
Yep.
If they stick and pick.
Yeah, because they need, even though they need a quarterback and somebody to throw it to, they need an offensive line.
Yes. And tackle is a need that they have, so.
That is true. So you're going to take the guy from Miami.
I am.
All right. Francis Muiga.
Is that how you say it?
I have no idea.
I believe you.
I have no idea. That puts the Commanders on the clock. And, boy, do they have options. Need a running back. Obviously now with Love taken, there's really not another great one in kind of first-round value. Need a defensive line and need some safeties here. So there's a couple different options we can go with. Boy. Sonny Styles is off the board. He was my number 2 pick here for the Commanders. I think the Commanders here at the number 7 will go Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State.
I like that.
Ruben Bain here sliding a little bit, but as you can see here, the ADP, the average draft position for everybody who does these mock drafts, they have him right about the 8 spot.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly. Wait.
This game, huh?
Whoop.
I guess Matt pulled up. Yeah, and I think that's where I have to go. Ruben Bain here. I like him. That Mansour Delane, I could see him going in the top 7, actually.
Yeah,
but
there's
no,
a couple different mocks that had him going there.
Ruben Bain will go here, Cole.
Yeah, I agree. I think if it stays open right here, I think Ruben Bain will go in the 8 spot to the Saints. And the Chiefs, who have 2 first-round draft picks for some ungodly reason, have the number 9 pick, which means I am back on the clock. Ruben Bain is off the board. I mean, this pick really with the Chiefs is kind of a flip of a coin, whether they want to go offense or defense, and how badly they want to. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to go with the 2 first-round picks. They're going to go 1 on the offense and 1 on the defense. Would be my guess.
Right. I think there's an obvious choice here, Cole.
You think so?
I mean,
the Chiefs.
No. Here's the deal. If Bain is there tomorrow for the Chiefs, they take him.
Yes, he is my number 1.
Yes.
He is my number 1 name right here for the Chiefs if he's there. Then in this order, I have Carnell Tate and then Mansour Delane. Mm-hmm. So I think
And corner's not a. I mean, it is a need.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know if it's quite as high up as the need for the wide receiver, which means I will be taking with the 9th pick in the Chiefs, Carnell Tate, the
Good pick.
receiver from Ohio State.
Great pick, actually. So who do we have the Giants taking earlier in this draft, Cole?
The Giants, with the number 5 pick, took Jeremiah Love,
That's right.
the halfback from Notre Dame.
Now we get to the point where you have to have a guy to protect
Yep.
Jeremiah Love. And I think Spencer Fano is a huge sticker outer at this point. If he falls this far, whoever gets him is going to know that they have a day one starter. Maybe not right away, but he will start at some point next year for whatever team he plays for. And if he just somehow happens to go to the Giants, he'll be a day one starter no matter what, because he'll be a great player to begin with. So I will be taking Spencer Fano to go to the Giants. Really like that player.
Yep, I like that play. I like that pick a lot. I think he's going to be there at the 10. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be there at the 10 for the Giants.
Yep.
I think those are 2 really good picks by the Giants so far in this mock draft, but realistically, 2 really good picks for us. Now, we had to pick 11. And the Miami Dolphins. Quote from their beat reporter Omar Kelly, who did the mock draft with all the beat writers, as they do with the New York Times article, which you might be reading right now.
I am, yes.
And his quote right after this pick was, "The lineup is like Swiss cheese. They need to come out of the draft with 4 or 5 starters." This is where it starts to get a little interesting, because Carnell Tate no longer on the board. The Francis Mauigoa, the guard, is also no longer on the board. Those are my top 2 picks here for the Dolphins.
I think that Francis guy goes higher than folks think tomorrow.
I also think that might be the case. They need some defensive back help, which means they have options here at the 11th spot. I think this is where they're going to go with the cornerback from Louisiana State University, Mansour Delane.
Good pick, Larsh. Good pick.
Yep. I think it'd be solid GMs in the league.
I think so. It'd be better than
We'd
Kwesi.
be better drafting GMs than anybody the Vikings have had the past 20 years. Maybe not 20. That might be a stretch, but still, you get what I'm saying.
Close. All right. Looking around here for Dallas,
Dallas is an interesting team here because just about every mock you look at,
something different.
They're not in this pick. They're not here at 12. They're either up at like 5 or 6, or they're back to like 25. So this was an interesting one. I'm kind of glad that I didn't have this spot to go with the Cowboys.
Is Caleb Downs still on the board?
He is not. He went to the 7 pick.
That's right.
To the Commanders, which is, I think, who I would have taken here if I was the Cowboys, is Caleb Downs.
I liked him there. I don't think he'll fall that far.
I don't.
He's good. There's a lot of folks like that Keldrick Falk from Auburn. I don't know, though. I think I'm going to take a swinger here, and you're going to go up a little bit, and I like Jordan Tyson from Arizona State to go to Dallas.
Interesting, yeah. Very, very interesting. Maybe not the highest of needs for the Cowboys, but they have options with the 12 and the 20, which I think why a lot of people think they're going to kind of move out
around.
of that pick. Very, very interesting. Kind of moving around the board. With the 13th pick, the Rams, their glowing need is wide receiver based on every single mock you look at. Mm-hmm. Carnell Tate, my first name for them, was off the board, which means the only other name I had for them is the second or third best receiver in this draft is Mekhi Lemon.
Who is very, very, very good.
He is very good, the receiver from Southern Cal. And there we go. He'll be pick 13 of the Rams.
Now the Ravens, Cole, you flip the page and say, well, what do they need? They need to protect their quarterback. Yeah. And I don't care how they do it. They need to get it done. I think this, I think Viega Ione, however you
Yep,
say his
from
name,
Penn State.
is good, but I think they would prefer to have some more of a tackle that they could move in rather than a guard. While this guard could probably get swung to center. Scroll down the list a little bit, Cole, here. I'm looking for a name. Nope, none of these fellers. A lot of people have Caden Proctor going here. I may go with that Penn State guy. I'll go with that Penn State guy. I'm not going to say that name again.
Ione?
Yeah.
Ole Vega Ione,
Sure.
the guard from Penn State. I think every single mock draft you look at, they have the Ravens taking an offensive lineman. It's just a matter of which one they want. And depending on how it goes, this would now be our third O lineman taken in our mock draft so far. I think it's just going to come down to whoever's available for the Ravens. Now, with the 15th pick, we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Two of the guys have already gone off my list. They were offensive linemen. And the next highest, here's who they need. Their glowing need is a tight end, according to everywhere you look at. But I think this is just too high at 15 if you're going to take a tight end, especially with some of the...
Could see this as a trade back spot.
That is true. Especially with the amount of names that are still available here at 15. If the Buccaneers stick and pick, because, again, this is one of those where they could move back and take a tight end later in the first round. I think they're going to take the edge rusher from Miami.
I like that pick.
Akeem Mesidor. I think he's my number one name on the list right here for Tampa Bay here at the 15 spot. They need him bad. I think that's what they go with here at pick 15.
And Cole, who are the wide receivers left? Because that's who the Jets need.
That's a wide receiver right
Omar
here.
Cooper,
Omar
that's the
Cooper,
guy.
Denzel Boston, KC, that last
Conception.
name. Yeah, Conception. That's what I figured.
He's good, actually.
Chris Bell. Those are right
Bryce
here.
Lance. Bryce Lance.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Bryce Lance, ranked 62 right now overall. I think these are probably your most likely top three right
Omar Cooper, it's a little bit of a reach for him. Could see the Jets moving around from this. But I do like Omar Cooper. I think he goes here to the Jets.
I would agree. I think it's going to be whichever
They
receiver.
could take best player available.
That is true. But I think they're going to go best receiver available based on how the board shakes out. And I see that being, obviously, in this one, Omar Cooper.
And Cole, every year there seems to be a run on receivers.
Yep. Once they start to go a little bit, we'll never know. The Detroit Lions, who pick right before the Minnesota Vikings. Now, this is also a pick where a lot of different analysts, insiders, have this pick being traded. Specifically with the LA Rams at 13, you see a lot of it there. This is interesting because we're going to get to the Vikings pick here in a little bit. We're actually doing pretty good on time, so we got a lot of time to talk about the Vikings. Okay, let me pull back up my notes here.
There's one name that sticks out, Cole.
They need offensive line help. They need a guy to protect. I've got a name right here. He's a little bit further down on the board. But, I start seeing some things here that the Lions like this guy and the Lions want to take this guy. I think it's going to be between either Caden Proctor or Monroe Freeling right here.
Yep. And it's whoever they like the most.
I think it's literally a coin toss on whoever they like the most.
And I think both players will be good in the league.
I also believe that. And because, let's see, I don't remember what the insider's pick was. I don't remember which one it was. But I've got Caden Proctor here on my list. Because I didn't have Monroe Freeling going this far down. So with that, I'm going to stick with my list and go Caden Proctor here at the 17 spot for the Detroit Lions.
What a pick, and here we go.
This is where it gets a little interesting here. We got probably about a solid 10 minutes to talk about this pick and what the Minnesota Vikings are going to do here at the 18 spot. Mr. Charles Preen, the floor is yours.
Oh, man. What a day for the Minnesota Vikings. They get, a player that they're looking for, to fill a gap from a guy who should be retired. Is that the question? No, I don't know. But every single mock, it seems like the Vikings end up with the same guy. Cole, let's just skip over that thought for just 1 minute here, and let's scroll through the names.
Good.
Monroe Freeling, a really good player, would help the offensive line. Like if you're looking best player available right now, Monroe Freeling, very good. Kenyon Sadiq, one of my favorite players in the draft, personally, to watch. Think he's super fun. Would be a great addition to the tight end room for the Vikings.
And with TJ Hawkinson on a contract here.
Yes. But he's just so gifted. I think he's a better version of what Darren Waller tried to be.
Yep. That's fair.
And Darren Waller was good for a few years. So, I don't know. There's a thought there. I could see Kenyon Sadiq having a really bad career in the NFL, though. I could.
Yeah.
Jermod McCoy. I don't know a lot about this guy, but I know a lot of people like him. Cole, what do you know about him?
To be honest, about as much as you do, I think. I know his name gets thrown around a lot in this spot. Boy, I just don't know. Like, it's going to come down to, especially if you pick defense in this spot, whoever Brian Flores wants and whoever's going to fit his scheme the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his scheme fit is a huge deal.
And everywhere you look, it's this name right here.
There's another name down the list, though, that I really like.
Yep. All right, we'll keep going.
C.J. Allen, a lot of people like him for the Vikings as well. I just don't see it. I understand it, but with Ivan Pace re-signed the other day, I don't think linebacker will be a priority round one. I just don't.
So. Maybe later.
Like, it's super hard for a rookie linebacker to come in and be successful in the first few years. And especially with the Flores scheme fit, Ivan Pace is better off out there than the C.J. Allen. Even though C.J. Allen is more talented, it's a different beast. But the name after C.J. Allen, Cole, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, a guy that I am in love with, and if the Vikings end up with him tomorrow, I will be very, very happy.
Interesting.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
I think wherever he goes, I'll be sad because I think he'll be a great player in this league. If he goes anywhere besides Toledo, he's top 10. So, guy's a dog, has the ball skills, I think, to play more than just a safety role, could do like what Metellus does at a faster role, like a Cam Bynum type of flexible position. I really like Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I don't think the Vikings will take him, unfortunately, but if they end up with him, I will be very, very, very happy tomorrow. Cole, what do you say?
I think, these are three names right here. The safety from Oregon, Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon.
I'll throw C.J. Allen's name in there at the bottom of the list.
Yep, I was going to say, then Emmanuel McNeil Warren, C.J. Allen. I think any of those four.
And scroll down the list a little bit more. Like, is there anybody else you could see taking a swinger on? No. Avian Terrell, maybe.
Honestly, really not.
No, and I don't. That Caleb Banks is
unless you start to get into the
D-line, but
into your defensive line. I don't know. I think any of these four right here, I think in order. I think the safety, Sadiq.
I agree.
Emmanuel McNeil Warren, then
C.J.
Allen. He'd be solid. I think any of those four I'd be pretty happy with.
I think if the Vikings were to, scroll down to the D tackles there, Caden McDonald, not TJ Parker, but Caleb Banks and Peter Woods.
Yeah,
I could see it, Cole, if there was for some weird reason a run, but at that point, if there's a run on a random position, right? There has been in the first round before.
Yeah,
usually is. The year that Addison went, think about that run.
Yeah.
If there's a run on a weird position and the Vikings decide, well, scroll up on the left side, if they see that like the Ola Ione from Ione from Penn State is there, or Mekhi Lemon or Messidor is even on the board, I could see something weird where, hey, if we like a player that is best player available that somehow slips, they're going to pick him up. It's like Dallas Turner,
Yeah, and they're kind of in that spot too because they won those 5 meaningless games at the end of the year where you're kind of at the position where you're given what you're given and there's not much you can do with it.
Well, and scroll to pick 11 right now, Cole. You go to pick 11, the Vikings don't win those meaningless games. They're picking Mansour Delane, and that defense is scary.
Yes.
That is scary.
Yep. You're in the spot now where, and especially with, would you call him technically a rookie GM, even though he's not a GM, interim GM, but he's been a part of the franchise forever.
Forever, yeah.
That,
And he's the type of guy that doesn't even want to be the GM because he loves money crunching so much.
yeah. He just wants to make the picks, and he wants the Wolves to just go, find somebody else.
Yeah. That's what the word on the street is.
Yeah, I don't even know if he wants to make the picks. I think he just kind of got chosen to because it was so close to
He'll
the
be
draft.
the guy that makes the phone call, but Kevin and Brian.
KOC and Flo, they'll make the pick. I don't know.
Scroll down past Peter Woods. Could you see anything weird here? Like the KC Conception pick doesn't make sense to me, but the Vikings do like him.
Yeah, but I with how different the needs are, I don't see you taking a receiver in the first round.
No.
Maybe later on, but not with the 18 pick. I'm really not seeing
A lot of people like D'Angelo Pons too, Cole.
Yeah, but I'm really not seeing any names that stick out to me.
What about Jacob Rodriguez? What's your thoughts on him before we get further down this list?
I have no thoughts on him, if I'm being honest. I don't have many thoughts on a lot of these guys.
Well, Rodriguez is a dude. I could see him coming up. Like they say 42.5 is the ADP. I could see him ending up as
a late first round?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
Who else do I like in this? The tight end class. Can you sort by tight ends here, Cole?
Yeah.
I know the Vikings need one later down their list, but it's a good list. Kenyon Sadiq, Eli Stowers, Max Clare, Sam Roush. Like, you even go down to this Justin Jolie guy.
Yeah.
That's a deep class. That Marlon Klein guy from Michigan. Like, Paul Allen was talking about this the other day with somebody, and this is a really deep class. You can get a good tight end here in a good spot.
A spot that they need.
Mm-hmm. It's a deep class for tight ends. Go to the guards and centers if you can. Can you sort by both, or can you just do one?
Yeah, I can. I'm pretty sure. Interior offensive line, I guess. There we go.
And this is a pretty good, like that Sam Hecht from Kansas State.
Yeah.
He'll be good.
Yep.
I could see him going round 2 for sure. Earlier round 2 than most people think. The Bo Stevens guy. A lot of people like Jeremiah Wright. Keep scrolling. Pat Coogan. A lot of people like Pat Coogan. He was the main man up front for Mendoza in that run. Who else are some names here? Like center-wise, I've heard a lot about centers this year, but because the Vikings are going to have to pick up a center.
Yeah, eventually, yeah. But this is it's a pretty good draft to have to pick up some of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
It's pretty good through that first bit.
Ranked 362, average draft position 83. Wow. Some of us really like him up there. All right, Minnesota Vikings with the 18th pick. They choose. You're the 18th, man. It's your pick, man.
Like who I think it's going to be or who I want it to be. I want it to be Sadiq, but I think it'll be Thieneman. I'm happy with both. I'd be really happy with Sadiq just because that'd be so fun. A rookie tight end, Cole. Yeah. How fun, like who's good and long. We'd be able to go to him in the end zone. Like Kyler Murray throwing up to Sadiq and just gets a guy going.
I think it's going to be the safety.
I do too.
I would really enjoy.
That would be great, man. I would be so happy. I'd be happy with a lot of these guys.
Yeah, I think so.
As long as we don't scroll down a little bit. If we don't take anybody past, I'd be happy with Avion Terrell too. If we take anything Blake Miller down, I'm upset.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless it's like a D tackle, I'd still be upset. Actually, I like Caleb Banks a lot.
I think the only person I wouldn't be upset with is either Banks or Peter Woods. I think
a dog.
These two guys, I don't know. I wouldn't be that. You're leaving a lot of big names out there, but we need interior defensive line. So, yeah, I think they go
Thieneman. Thieneman is the pick.
Yep, I think they go Thieneman with the 18th overall pick. With the 18th overall pick, excuse me. 11 minutes before the show ends. The Carolina Panthers. This is a spot with 17, 18, 19. I have any one of these teams picking Kenyon Sadiq, and I think the Panthers pull the trigger here with the tight end from Oregon.
A lot of people agree with you there.
Yep.
Cowboys here.
And now the Cowgirls. Yep, pick 20.
The Cowboys need Jermod McCoy.
We've already taken Jordan Tyson for them.
A lot of people have D-back as a position of need here. Who do we have? She said the wide receiver?
Yeah, we had him Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, I like Jermod McCoy, the cornerback out of Tennessee here.
I think that's a good spot for it. The Pittsburgh Steelers in pick 21. I have them.
Tradable pick here.
Yes, I have them picked right here as best available offensive line. A lot of big names out there you can take right now. Some different ones being thrown around. I think if you can get Monroe Freeling to fall to the 21, I think the Steelers will be more than happy with taking him here at the 21st pick.
Yeah, somebody to play next to Mason McCormick out there. They were having rough issues with their tackle game last year. And a guy that could be depth at guard if they were to run into injuries, too. So
That is true. That is very true.
The Chargers.
22nd pick, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Right here, I could see a stretch, Cole. The Chargers have a lot of weird needs. Wide receiver, D-line. You can even go cornerback. I'm looking through what I like here. A lot of people have Jermod McCoy here from Tennessee going. I think at some point somebody's going to have to take C.J. Allen. I'm not going to take him here, but I think what receivers are up?
And go right here.
Some people. I don't know if the Chargers stick here.
This will be interesting to see what they do with this.
I agree. Let's see. I'm going to take Peter Woods. I think they take a swinger on Peter if they don't trade back.
Yeah, I like the pick. Just got to find him. There he is. I like the pick a lot. Philadelphia Eagles, pick number 23. I also have them down here as best available offensive tackle. So I'm going to just sort this by tackles and pick a name because that's what they need. Okay, here we go.
Is that Blake Miller?
Blake Miller.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say it is 100% the pick that the Eagles go with here at 23.
Who do we have the Browns taking around here? Who have they taken so far at least?
The Browns have taken, with the 6th pick, the tackle from Miami.
I think they go Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, Cole.
Somebody's got to here in the 24.
He's a good player. Very good.
Emmanuel McNeil-Warren in the 24th pick. 25th, the Chicago Bears. The Bears. T.J. Parker is still available.
There's some good edge players.
Hedrick Falk, he is also still available. Akeem Ezador, he's gone. Zion Young, he's down here a little bit. There's a lot of different mocks that have him going in the late teens for picks. That'll be interesting.
Because he's a player with a really high ceiling.
Yeah. I think, boy, if the Bears didn't need so much help on the line and the cornerback spot, they would take C.J. Allen here. But I think you got to go, if he gets here to the 25 spot, Kedrick Falk, the edge from Auburn.
And I think finally C.J. Allen goes here, Cole.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for him to the Bills. They need him. C.J. Allen, 18th ranked player according to Pro Football Focus. I guess this is technically the consensus board they're ranked on. 49ers got a couple different needs. This one is just simply best available offensive lineman here in my book. Just about accidentally clicked Caleb Banks. That would not have been ideal. I think there's this tackle from Utah right here. I think is where, I don't know, the Patriots might go there, or the Niners might go there, they might not. 27th pick at this point.
Take him.
Sure, why not?
Not a bad pick. I like it.
The tackle from Utah, the Utes. Texans in the 28 spot.
At 28, the Texans are going D-tackle, Cole. I think. What D-tackles are up here? Caden McDonald?
You got Caden McDonald. You've got Caleb Banks.
I don't know Caleb Banks goes here, but I think McDonald goes here, Cole.
All right, Caden McDonald. Interior defensive lineman from Ohio State. Kansas City Chiefs. We got a couple options here. KC Conception is here. Did we already take Omar Cooper Jr.? Yeah, we did.
The Chiefs already took a guy at receiver. They took Carnell Tate.
Yeah, we already got him a Carnell Tate. Yep, that's right. So I already picked him at I already picked Carnell Tates. They're not going to go offense. I said this was the one they're going to go either offense or defense.
Mm-hmm.
They are not going to go with Casey Conception. I had them taking defense in the first one originally. So what else do they need? They need an edge? Boy, we got some options here. Cassius Howell, TJ Parker.
Don't sleep on Avion Terrell either here.
Yeah, the corner. I think it's the Chiefs. I think they'd be very happy if any one of these three fell into their lap.
Right.
I think they'd be very happy with it. 23rd ranked guy on the 29th pick. Yep, give me Avion Terrell.
And then
3
the
picks
Dolphins.
left in our draft here. The Dolphins, who again their lineup is like Swiss cheese. We already had them taking. The Dolphins already took a corner, Mansour Delane, in our mock.
So if they take a corner, you'd think they're going to go receiver here, probably. Could see it also being offensive line.
Yeah, or a lineman.
That Max, however you say his name,
Yep.
I like him. I think they go Denzel Boston.
Interesting.
I do.
Yeah. They do need receiver help a lot.
This
Denzel
could be
Boston.
I don't know if Miami ends up with that pick tomorrow night. This is going to be very fluid at the end of that round.
Yeah, a lot of interesting things that happen here at the end. 31st pick, the New England Patriots. Okay. Boy, do I have options. This is where a lot of different mocks have him going Zion Young, but they really don't. I might need an edge guy. Boy, do I have options. Defensive line or a tackle. It's really whatever you want to pick out of probably these top 4 or 5. I think this would be a good spot for. I know you probably want to protect. They're probably going to want to protect. What's his name? The quarterback, Drake May.
Yes.
And I think there's really only one first-round tackle left. Yeah, I'm going to take the Arizona State tackle here
Good
at
pick.
31.
What do we got left for interior defensive lineman here, Cole? Just wondering.
Caleb Banks, the big name, still on the board.
I like that. Who's
That's
the
offensive
best player on the board right now?
Cassius Howell, edge rusher from Texas A&M.
I don't know if he's a scheme fit, but
Or you also have T.J. Parker, an edge guy. Caleb Banks, Colton Hood. 4 defensive guys, the 4 best available right now on our board.
man, I don't know, man. Cole? What do you think?
This is a spot that could go a couple different ways. Obviously, it says they need running back because they traded away Kenneth Walker, but there's really not a. Do we have a single running back taken other than Love?
No.
In the first round? Yeah, so it's a great running back draft. I think they're probably going to go with whichever one of these 4 they like the best. I think Caleb Banks probably rounds out the.
I think he does too, actually. I like Caleb Banks for Colton Hood. He could flip a coin here, actually. I don't think they go edge. I don't
think so either.
As much as a scheme fit, they need a player that is a plug and play to the scheme rather than the actual player. So give me Caleb Banks. I think he fortifies that D line.
I agree. Here's our mock draft. Full results. Oh, we're going to get the grade, and I don't want to share any of this. Get out of here. I don't want to subscribe.
What? No, why?
Full results. You can read through those very quickly. We got 1 minute left in the show. Perfect timing. Look at that mock
We're
draft.
going to close the time, Cole.
You're going to have to. Oh, you're right. I do have it even queued up. You're right. I was wondering what you're talking about, but yeah.
Trying to cue you, man.
Time played. I think this stretch of 16 to 20 is going to, or not even that, 12 to 16 is going to be very dependent on what the Vikings do here. Because like you said, do they get a run? Do they not? I don't know what they do. What do they pick? What do they want? It's also with a guy who's never drafted before. I don't know.
Yeah.
Going to be very interesting to see. But there's our mock draft. First draft tomorrow. What time does it start?
Excited.
6 o'clock? 7 o'clock?
Something like that. But I know the picks are shorter between
8 minutes.
Here, yeah.
8 minutes. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
No more 3.5 hour drafts. No live draft special here in the CharCole Sports Show this year.
Going to our buddy Jax.
Unfortunately, if you guys were hoping for that, our apologies.
Couldn't swing it.
Yeah.
Didn't get any sponsors, so.
Yep. Didn't get a sponsor in the DMs, or else we would have done it. But
if a late sponsor comes through, we could make arrangements.
Have to be a pretty good one.
It'd have to be a good one.
He's been Charlie Preen. I've been Cole Arsh. Thanks for listening to the CharCole Sports Show.
Go Wild!
We will see you next Wednesday right here on KAOR 91.1 FM in Vermilion and always on YouTube as well.